Down with deodorant. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to get deodorant banned or anything. But hi, Primal Instincts here, and I am here to tell you how you can ditch deodorant if you've been curious about trying not to use it, or you just don't want to use it anymore, but you're afraid that people are going to tell you that you smell really bad. And yeah, there is a how-to to it because it's not something you can just quit cold turkey. If you try to, it's going to be a little rough for a few weeks. And you might notice I'm kind of talking about using and quitting deodorant as if it's like an addiction. And the reason being is it kind of is for some people. We're conditioned to believe at an early age that you have to use deodorant. You have to be free of any sort of natural body smell, or else it's something you should be ashamed of and you're going to get made fun of for. I myself, I have not used deodorant in over 10 years now, and I never look back. And if you notice my shirt, straight out of deodorant, yeah. It's a little parody of Straight Outta Compton, but no deodorant in this house, boy. The reason I stopped using deodorant, the biggest reason, is because of how unnatural it is. I mean, just think about it. You're like rubbing something against your skin in order to prevent your body from doing something it's supposed to do. Like, we're humans. We're animals. We're technically classified as warm-blooded mammals. Another animal on this planet. And yes, our bodies naturally produce odor. Through all the years of evolution, we still grow hair under here. We still produce pheromones under here. And as long as you are hygienic, you can get away without using deodorant and you'll be just fine. If you ever gotten really close to a wild animal or maybe even one of your pets and you gotta get real close to notice it, you'll see it has its own faint smell, its own unique kind of smell. And people are the same way. And I'm the same way, since I don't use deodorant. If you get really close to me, you will get a whiff of like a natural, organic person kind of smell. Every person has their own unique smell, by the way, even identical twins. It's one of those things like fingerprints that every single person on this planet has a different smell that is unique to them. And I, for one, am very proud of mine. I don't get complaints about mine. It's unconventional to people who aren't used to it. They're just like, hey man, I can smell you. Yeah, I know. I live naturally. And the way that I stopped using it is, again, I did not just up and quit. And the reason you can't just stop like that is because your body has to get used to functioning normally again. Because when you're putting deodorant under your arms, you are blocking that up. You're stopping a process that naturally happens. You're masking it with an artificial odor, and you're like plugging up those sweat glands, and it's not good. It's just kind of like when you got a blocked up sink for a while and you finally unblock it. It smells pretty foul, doesn't it? For a while, it's the same thing with under your arms. When you stop using deodorant, your body is able to breathe and do what it's normally supposed to do again. So it gets a little intense down there. So for like a week, probably 2 weeks, you're going to want to get like a cologne and you're going to want to like spray it under your arms. And like you're still going to have like a little bit of a strong smell, but it's going to blend with that cologne, or the cologne might even just mask it. And give it like 2 weeks and your body will regulate and you'll start to just have like a natural smell without smelling like a homeless person. Because the goal, of course, is not to smell like really, really bad, but to just let your body breathe, man. Just live naturally like I do. I love it. It feels good. And I've actually read studies online. There was some articles back in 2019 that said younger generations are ditching deodorant. About 40% of millennials interviewed, I'm a millennial, by the way, said that they don't use deodorant anymore. And of course, the tone of the article was like, the planet's getting stinky and what's going on? What's wrong with these young people? We're waking up. We're using our head. We're realizing this is unnatural. There's so many people in the world using deodorant who don't actually have to use it, but they still do. I've even read reports of people that they don't even naturally produce body odor. Something's going on with their body. They don't even produce an odor, but they still put deodorant on just because it's the thing you're supposed to do. Think about it. Open your mind. Now, granted, I know there are some people who prefer to use deodorant. I mean, your body odor, according to science, is affected by your diet. It's heavily affected by your diet. So if you have a really bad diet, if you eat a bunch of nasty, like processed or whatever foods, it's going to affect the way you smell. If you're like a bigger person and you have like more like folds in your skin and stuff, it's going to produce a stronger smell. But if you are a healthy person and you eat a healthy diet, then you're not going to smell terrible if you manage to wean yourself off deodorant and you just let your pits breathe, baby. This video is a long time coming for me. I am the no deo hero. A lot of people look up to me. I love that I inspire people of all ages. As young as 11, as old as in their 60s. I've heard from so many fans over the 7.5 years I've been doing this for, and it's great. And I love to hear from other fans too who have also ditched deodorant and have been living naturally and happily ever since. So don't be afraid. If your family or your friend group, if you don't think they'll support your decision to stop using deodorant, you don't have to tell them. You can just wean yourself off and see if they even notice the difference. And if they don't, then you can say, hey, by the way, I haven't used deodorant in a month. Could you tell? Oh, you couldn't. Well, I'm not using it anymore. And maybe you should think about not using it too. It's up to the person though. I know there's a lot of people that they start to question these things. They're like, oh, I hear that deodorant's got some bad things in it. Or then they have like the natural deodorants and they're supposed to be better for you. But at the end of the day, guys, no matter what you're like rubbing under your skin, even if it's like lemon juice or coconut butter or like some of these other homemade things I've met people that they say they use in place of it. What you're doing is, it's not natural and it may not even be necessary. But if you enjoy using it, you do you. But for people like me who want to live naturally, who aren't afraid to smell like a natural person should, because that's what bodies are supposed to do, don't be afraid. Start today. Wean yourself off of deodorant. Just give it a chance. I read another article of a guy who did like a 30-day no deodorant challenge. And he said people actually complimented him on the way he smelled after that. But after the 30 days, he said, oh, well, the challenge is over. So he went back to using deodorant. And he's like, the substance felt cold and foreign on my skin. And he ended the article like that. It's like, if your life was better for you and you were getting compliments when you didn't use deodorant, why would you go back? It's just because of that stigma, that conditioned belief that we all get put. It gets put in all of our heads. Like, you gotta use this. You're supposed to use this. You have to understand, man, people didn't have the world figured out a long time ago. When this stuff came out, when people were like, you need this, people just kind of followed along. But then you realize, like, not everybody needs this. Not everybody has to make these companies richer. There's people who benefit from using it, but people like me, I've saved a lot of money by not paying for products like that I don't need. And you can save money too. And you can save time in the bathroom. And plus, trust me, your body will thank you for it. Living naturally, it feels as good and free as it is. So take the no deo challenge. Wean yourself off of deodorant. Tell me if it works for you. Do you feel better letting your pits breathe? Do you enjoy your own natural smell? And it should be innocuous if you still take care of yourself. You can do it without deodorant. And I challenge you to try. Be like the growing 40% of younger people. It doesn't matter how old you are. Young, old, it doesn't matter. Add to those numbers. Ditch deodorant. Give it a shot. See what life without it is like. I am Primal Instincts, your no deo hero. And I will continue to open minds and spread awareness about natural, healthier living. So stay tuned for more. Keep on stinking, and I'll see you in the next vid.